mildly
Hey
surprised.
guys, welcome to the KickBack FC. Thank you for joining us once again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Welcome back to the Kickback FC, your go-to spot for unfiltered, real talk, all things soccer. Here we've got it all. We'll be breaking down the biggest moments, the hottest takes, and everything that you need to stay tapped into the world's game. We'll even tap into some other sports from time to time because if it's big in sports, we've got some thoughts on it. Whether this is your first time jumping in with us or you've been rocking in with us from the beginning, I just want to say thank you to all our friends and supporters. Once again, my name is Cornelius. I'm joined by my boys and fellow co-hosts. I want to start off by saying happy holidays, Merry Christmas to everybody. Gabriel, how you feeling?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm feeling better. I was a little sick earlier this week. Didn't have the last Christmas, but it was I'm feeling good. I'm feeling better. How you feeling, Sam?
Good, bro. Great Christmas with the fam. All is well, man. Ready for the new year. How about you, Cornelius?
Same, man. I would say it was a very chill Christmas this year, but it's great to spend time with the fam, some friends. Went to a few shows this weekend as well, so it was good to see some friends back in town, from all over. So it was good, man. It was good. Definitely want to hop into some footy though, because although there wasn't a huge Boxing Day presence, as in the world of football, there were games all week. There were games all weekend, which I think is a little bit better. It gave Boxing Day, Manchester United played, which was big match for them. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But there was AFCON going on, which we'll get into a little bit later as well. But what I want to start with is actually an article I saw over the weekend, and it goes to talk about something that we talk about here multiple times on this podcast, and it's pay to play here in America and kind of how that's ruining the game. So this is a tweet from Goals TV. U.S. men's national team legend Eric Wynalda is giving back to American soccer by opening up his own academy in Las Vegas. The academy is privately funded and gives kids opportunities. Wynalda has also called out the broken U.S. youth system that's ruining talented players, saying, quote, I wanted to start my own academy because I felt that a lot of these players just needed an opportunity to show what they're all about. We do not have a player problem. We have a coaching problem in the U.S. It's bad. We are not letting the talent that we have express themselves in the way they want to express themselves as players. I've always said the game is the teacher and anyone on the sidelines is the facilitator of learning. The game will do the teaching if you let the kid express themselves and make mistakes and not get all over them, end quote. He goes on to say a little bit more, but that's kind of, pretty much a gist of why he felt the need to open up this academy. And so first and foremost, I wanted to highlight Eric Wynalda because I think that's huge for him to step out and kind of go at the U.S. Soccer Federation, and saying we don't have a coach, we don't have a player problem, we have a coaching issue. We've talked about pay to play and how it kind of weeds out some of the kids that have the talent but don't have the opportunity to go on all of these tournaments or play for some of these high illustrious clubs with, high fees per season. So, with that being said, do you guys see this as something that other U.S. men's national team or players / coaches / people affiliated with the federation will continue to do? And if not, do you think this is something that they'll look towards and try to belittle a little bit just because of the system that we have in place already?
I mean, I think just like for the players, I think it's harder because I agree with Eric Wynalda, but like even for the coaches, you have to pay to get your licenses. I'm not quite sure and familiar with what the processing is over in Europe, but you're seeing a lot more coaches pursuing that and obviously translating that on like the professional stage than it is here. But at the end of the day, bro, in my opinion, I just think that the biggest thing that's holding soccer back here in this country is money and just how much money you can make off of it, how much money you can make off of youth players. I mean, a lot of people in a lot of senior positions come out and don't hide the fact that like, hey, like we're proud to be, a place where we just kind of breed talent and sell talent. And that's more or less like what it is for me. But I think if we're able to, have more resources for coaches that, want to pursue this, then I mean that addresses Eric Wynalda's issue, and I'm for with what he's doing. I like it, but at the end of the day, man, money is the biggest barrier here.
I agree with that. I mean, honestly, you hit the nail on top of the head. Well said. I love what he's doing, but will it actually end up working? Will it be belittled? Will people hate on it? 100%. So, love what he's doing. I hope he can continue, but I hope it's just not one of these things. I mean, honestly, even if it only was active for 5 to 10 years and then it went away, like at least, he's making an impact somewhere and change some lives of some people. But yeah, man, it's always going to be tough here. It's a rotten system from inside out. So you have to do a lot, of digging and rotting and getting rid of the rot before things can really start to change.
Yeah, I just wanted to build on top of that. Great point, Gabriel. But like a lot of people here, man, are really, obsessed with like the status of whatever. I want to be on the top team. I want my kid to be on the top team. And it's not just the players, it's the parents as well too. And like, but that's the culture that we breed here. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to market the best. We want to be the best. But that's at the end of the day, that doesn't filter out like the real talent. Just because you're able to financially afford something doesn't mean that these are the best of the best. And I'm not taking anything away from, the kids that are proven that they are capable of playing at a high level. But at the end of the day, it's about the money and the status. I'm on this team. I coach this team for players and coaches, and parents are an issue too.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's a lot of politics sometimes around these things, and I feel like you hit the nail right on top of the head. Like Gabriel said, money is the barrier to a lot of these things, and it is the main focal point for a lot of these clubs. But I think the fact that Wynalda is doing this with private money, there'll be some politics that come with that as well. But the fact that these kids are going to be awarded the opportunity to go there without having the need to worry about funds is a step in the right direction, at least to start to focus on the right things. You know what I'm saying? Look at the talent themselves, the character of these kids, and actually, put the money where they should be going into the development of players. So, we'll hopefully see some good things coming with that. If you go and you it's easy to find the story. Again, it's Eric Wynalda, Las Vegas Academy, but apparently this academy is supposed to start here in 2027, I believe 2028. So we'll see this soon, and hopefully we start to see some talent come up through those ranks. But yeah, man, I don't know where Poppy just went. That's crazy, because I was going to get into AFCON talk before we did the Premier League. But Poppy, you there, bro?
Oh, but he's in Morocco.
Yeah, he's there. I might.
He's there.
The vibes here are too strong. It's cutting it's cutting the connection.
Frequencies.
I'm on a different frequency. But yeah, man. So we'll wait for Poppy to get back. Probably have some technical difficulties, and we'll hop into the Premier League to start this week's episode. Before we get to Chelsea, because we did lose first, do want to talk about a few other teams that played this weekend that have been, on the topic of discussion a little bit. Talk about Liverpool, 2-1 win over Wolves. Again, it's just Wolves who currently and still are sitting on 2 points for the year. This is honestly disgusting work. But Gravenberch got his goal, and then, about a minute and a half later, Florian Wirtz was able to net his first goal for Liverpool. Talk about Liverpool for a sec. They're still staying afloat. They were able to beat Wolves. Do we think that now that Wirtz has gotten his goal, this is going to, shake some of that dust off of him? Do we think that now we'll see the player that – because, again, I said last week, I think that Wirtz has been playing all right. Obviously, he hasn't been scoring. He hasn't been assisting at the clip that we thought he was going to. But as far as his play over the last 3-4 weeks, you can see that he's getting into the spaces in the attacking third that are dangerous. He's obviously providing assists in the last few weeks. He's being the creative player that we saw him be while he was at Leverkusen. So for him to get this goal, done and dusted, do we think that now he could play with a little bit more freedom, less nerves, I would say?
I mean, I think he's a good player. He's a young player, but I mean, I think this year is going to be an adjustment for him. I don't great for his confidence, but him coming into a new league, like I know the money's big, but I think he's a good player. But I just think that the season is going to be a struggle that we're just going to have to watch until he gets accustomed to the league. Because when he does, I think he could have a big impact on this team. Because everything else, when you look at all the other positions, it's like Ekitike. I mean, he takes a lot of pressure off you. He was the one that had the assist as well too. Great assist on his part. But like, nah, bro. I think he just needs to figure it out, and he just needs to click. And then once it does, he'll be all right. Because I think he's a good player. He's a young guy adjusting to a new league.
Yeah, I mean, words. I'm happy for him. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he was able to get the goal. He had a good match in general outside of just that goal. I believe he had an assist on the day too, or no, that was Ekitike who had the assist, I believe. But in a goal, or no. Did he have a goal and assist? Words?
No.
I think
it was just a goal.
I think it was just a goal.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember who got the other assist.
I'll check.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I just think, I don't. Right, Frimpong. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything, regardless if it's my team or not, and I'm not gonna play favorites, and I don't do that. So I'm just gonna call it for what it is, bro. You did this against Wolves. And while I still am a big word supporter, I want him to succeed. I think he's a great player, and I think he will succeed. I'm like, how much stock am I really supposed to put in that? And like, you barely scored, fam. Like, great run, great touch, great toe poke. You feel me? But like, the ball was literally given to you on a platter. You feel me? So it's like, and like I said, bro, this is against a team this is against Wolves. While you're at home, you have the crowd behind you, and this is against a team that hasn't won a match all season. And like I said, I don't think they're going to win a match until 2026. So, great for him. Happy for his confidence. This isn't like a two-sided, back-ended, handed compliment. But, I'm just going to be realistic about it. Like, it's against Wolves, fam. I'm not putting much stock into Wolves. And yes, it's not. I mean, we could say it's easy to beat Wolves, even though Arsenal struggled against Wolves. But it's like, this is who they are. You should be beating them. You should be scoring. So I'm still putting more stock into the performances that I've seen previous to that than I am, this one performance. But hey, I hope it gives him a confidence boost to, have a run of form and get used to the Premier a little bit now. You're half a season in, so
No, that's fair ecnough. Liverpool again sticking around. They're not totally off of it right now. Right now sitting in fourth place, eclipsing Chelsea this past week with their win. But but yeah, I just figured I'd bring them up because they've been decent in their last 5 games in the Premier League. 3 wins. This is their 3rd win in a row and 2 draws. So I know they started off the year very topsy-turvy. Obviously, they had the big blow to their team losing Alexander Isak last week, but now they're in form. This is a team that's in form. Through all the ups and downs that we've been talking about, they've started to finally find some sort of consistency. So, again, they see a Leeds team this week that has been on the bounce, but who knows? This could be another test for Liverpool, or they could just go and run all over Leeds. So we'll see about that one. If I was a betting man, I would take both teams to score, and that leads Liverpool match. But moving on before we get to Chelsea, I do want to talk about City, second place City right now. Another team that has been finding form. Had a little bit of a test this past weekend when they saw Nottingham Forest, but Mr. Ryan,
Yeah,
Mr. Is he world class? Mr.
definitely.
Turkey. Man, this guy came to the Prem and he's not making it look as easy as when Haaland came to City. And we were kind of just like, yo, is Haaland going to be able to do the same thing that he did when he was in Germany? But Turkey is making it look like, bro, this y'all had me in the French league thinking that all I could do was just eat baguettes and croissants. But he came over to the lands of the beans and toast, and he's doing his thing, man. He's making it look very, very easy. This past weekend, goal and assist. It seems like every week he's either going to get a goal or an assist. This guy is just doing what he wants in the Prem. But City, right now, they're on Arsenal's tail, just 2 points behind. And, they're kind of leading the charge. The last 2 weeks they played before Arsenal. So them getting their 3 points kind of put Arsenal on their heels a little bit, I feel like. And so Arsenal hasn't had the best run of form, but they're winning games. We've seen the stats, all the own goals that they scored in December. People are kind of bantering them there, but hey, you got to shoot to score. So we'll get to Arsenal a little bit, but City, second place City, how do we feel about them right now? And we kind of always see City do this right around the end of the year, right into January. This is when they get a little boost, I feel like. There was the whole Instagram social media craze of Pep talking about, yo, don't come in after the holidays fat, I'll bench you. And it seems that all the players were kind of joking with that, showing pictures of them on the scale saying, no, Gaffer, I'm in shape, I want to play on Saturday, but or Sunday, whatever the day they played this weekend was. But City, where we at with City? Do we think this is the team to beat right now, even though Arsenal's in first place?
I'll let you go first, Gabriel.
I despise this team, so I really have nothing good to say about them. They're doing exactly what I thought they'd do from the beginning of the season. So this is of no surprise to me. The only surprise, honestly, is the tear really that Haaland's on. I didn't think he was going to be on a goal tear like this again. Yeah, there's no slowing him down really. But I mean, in terms of Turkey, he's performing great. He's been good so far. So great pickup and signing for them. But yeah, man, this is City that we've seen for time now. Like, last year was an anomaly. They won a treble the year before. They had a down year. After you win everything, it's kind of hard to not. Once you reach the peak, you're gonna drop. So, it's kind of hard to go back to back trebles. I don't think anyone's ever done that. If someone has, please correct me. But yeah, no, this is exactly what I expected from them. So, regular scheduled programming for me.
Yeah, bro. I just wanted to say we were talking about it before we started, but Turkey, world class, definitely. There's no this guy.
I'll wait till the end of the season.
I respect, but I watch him, bro, and I'm like, wow, you're just on a different level than everybody else. Now, the great thing for City is that he's starting to pick up form. Like Gabriel said, Haaland is, low key having a record breaking, probably will have a record breaking year. Yeah. And Foden is starting to look a lot better. I mean, this team, man, we've seen them do this, especially around this time. If they can get max points, which I don't see them slowing down anytime soon. But yeah, no, I think that they're in a good spot. And I like the little banter though, about the weight and everything. Just I know it's banter, but it's like, yo, man, we're all locked in here. We know what we're doing. And we know what we want to achieve this season. Poppy, what's good, man?
What's up, guys?
It's good, bro. What you think about Liverpool? What you think about City? I know you just hopping on.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'll start with City. I feel like they're already you know getting their momentum on. They're already starting to feel that confidence that they can actually pull this thing off and win the league. Obviously, you can tell that they're not stressed at all. There's a lot of football left to be played. I feel like they're right where they want to be. In my opinion, the way I see them play, the way I feel like Pep is playing, I mean, is coaching the team. I feel like they're where they want to be. 2 points behind Arsenal, still, a lot of games to play, and I don't think right now they have too many injuries or players lost for the AFCON. So I think they're definitely in a good place right now, and by maybe by February, March, they might get over Arsenal, but we'll see, we'll see. And regarding Liverpool, like I said last time, man, the team is unpredictable this season to me. So every week is like anything can happen. But I like that we're slowly getting the tempo back. Fourth place right now. Again, still a lot of football to be played. I don't think winning the league is the goal anymore here. I think the goal is to finish top three and
Wait, wait,
at least
wait, wait,
two.
wait, wait. You don't think winning the league is the goal?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Get that shit.
I would I would be surprised if that's still the goal for this team, given how shaky they've been in the start. I feel like right now what they're trying to do is just secure a place for the Champions League. And yeah, I don't look. I mean, I wanna be realistic. I have the hope to get there, but I feel like even the players right now, they're not playing like they want to win the league. I feel like we lost too many points already, and given how City is playing, it's going to, like, if we set that as a goal, it's just going to be
The
really
shade is
hard to
crazy.
achieve. But
That's
I
the
mean,
second slight since you started talking, Poppy.
yeah,
huh?
First you said Arsenal. First you said City's going to overtake Arsenal by February and March. Then you said City's performing
Yeah,
well.
the
This
City
nothing
City
nothing about Arsenal. It's cool though. I hear you. I hear you. It's cool.
City is like 2 points behind Arsenal though. That's literally one
Yeah.
game.
uh, Okay. It's cool. All right. It's all good. It's all good, man.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to be realistic here. I don't want to get my hopes up too high and then end up disappointed. So yeah.
but when you look at the table, right? Because right
Yeah.
before you hopped on, I was saying that in the last five for Liverpool, they have 3 wins and 2 draws. Their last 3 matches have all been wins. So
Okay.
in their last five out of a possible 15 points, they've only
Hmm.
dropped four. 11 out of possible 15. Yeah, some
Right.
of those were against Leeds, some of those were against teams that were lower on the table. But when you look at it, not call it January, because by the time these next games are played will be in January. You're only 10 points
Right.
behind the league leaders. You're only eight
Right.
points behind City. You're kind of in
Right.
form going into the new year. You don't
Right.
think that this team is looking like 8 points ain't far off? 10 points ain't that far off, especially when you
Sure.
have to go see City. You have to go see Liverpool for the second time, in the second
Sure.
half of the season. You don't think that Liverpool is still looking to win the league?
No, I'm not saying I don't think that they're looking to win the league. I'm saying the goal, like I'm talking about my expectations right now. I'm talking about me, not the team. I'm saying like my expectations right now is that, I'm not expecting them to win the league because I've seen how shaky they've been. Yes, in the last five, we won three, drew two, but at the same time, we can play next game and then lose to a, mid-table team. Champions League, you've seen how shaky they've looked. So it's like, I just don't want to get my expectations up. I feel like, it's December. I mean, it's January pretty much. Let's just keep going and until we find a stable, momentum, a stable pace. And then at that point we can look and see if it's still possible to really go for it. But as far as like, already right now, given all the disappointing games that they've played, as far as right now, me as a fan saying, yeah, we're gonna win the league, that would be a bit too optimistic for me.
Fair.
Fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yep.
Good talk. Yeah, Arsenal. We'll get into them a little bit, but I still feel like they are leading the pack and they're right where they're supposed to be. But as tradition goes, man, losers go first. So in Mike's absence, I'll go ahead and just talk Chelsea for the group.
Shout out, Mike, man.
Shout out Mike, happy
Floor is
belated
yours.
as well.
Yeah,
He's taking this holiday to be a holiday.
it's a real holiday.
It was
As he should.
just saw Shadur beat the Steelers. So
Mhm.
shout out. But yeah, man, Chelsea, bro. They've been disappointing, fam. Last 5 matches, we have a loss, draw, win, draw, loss in that order. It's been
Boo.
very, very up and down. Hasn't been any consistency. The match today was just, or yesterday, I should say, the match yesterday was just, it was a tale of two halves. And the worst part is, I think this was the players and the manager that got this one wrong. I can't blame one or the other. I think this was a full team effort in the loss. When I look at Chelsea's first half, we're on the front foot, but the goal didn't move me because when I looked at how many chances that we had to score, we easily could have left. We easily could have been up 3-4-0 in that first half. And that's why when we scored not until the 30th minute, I wasn't very, very secure that we'd hold the 1-0 win. This is a Villa team that was coming off 10 wins in a row, looking for their 11th, something that they haven't done since like the 1910s. This is a Villa team that's been the most informed team in the league. This is a Villa team that has been top 4 now for a few weeks and looking to, climb the ranks. This is a Villa team that's been solid for the last 2-3 years. And I feel like this year with Morgan Rogers leading the squad, they actually have a team that's formidable and ready to make a top 4 push, like a for sure top 4 push. This Villa team has been on everybody's radar for the last couple of weeks. All anyone's ever been talking about, especially since they got this 10th win in a row, is this Villa team. Can they make it 11? Can they do something they haven't done in over 100 years? And so for Chelsea to have this game at home and for Maresca to not, I don't know, you go into the halftime up 1-0. You come out of the half very lethargic. You see a lot of our players' energy drop. And then you do a triple sub where you bring off not only the goal scorer, but Mark Cucurella, who's been one of our best defenders this whole year. I just don't get some of the things that Maresca does, bro. For the past 5 matches that we've been on this up and down, win, lose, draw streak, the only saving grace that we've had has been our center back pairing of Fofana and Chalobah. So what do you do when we have to see Aston Villa? You bring on Batty as shit, who gives the ball away for the first goal, and on the second goal is nowhere to be found.
Salam, drop the bells. If we ain't drop no bells, there's a crash that's coming. So,
bro, it's like the things that made Maresca good last year are the things that he's not leaning on this year. At the end of the year, when Maresca went on his 11-game unbeaten streak, what did he do? He found his main 11, and he said, for better or for worse, I'm going to stick with y'all. And, we're going to ride it out. We're going to make sure – pause. We're going to make sure that we're going to – for better or for worse, we're going to play our best 11. And if we lose, we lose. But at least I'm going to go out with the guys that I think can win us this match. I know we have some injuries. I know we have players just coming back in form, but why do you take off our best goals? Why do you take off our goal scorer in a match where we're up 1, but we're on, our heels in the second half? Why do you do a triple sub to bring on 3 guys that have no momentum, trying to catch up to a game and where Villa is on the front foot? These are things for me that I have to look at the manager and say, that's on you. But on the flip side, I look at the players. You guys are up 1-0 in a match against the Aston Villa team who the whole league has been talking about all week. This is your chance at home to go and show them, yeah, okay, cool. 10 in a row, you guys are looking to make history, not against us. What have I been saying for the last 4, 5, 6 weeks? It ain't sweet when you come to the bridge. And ever
Yes,
since
it
I've
is.
said that, it's become more and more cotton
Sweet.
candy. These cats are charming soft, and it's getting to the point where now I have to look and start pointing out individual players. And I don't want to have to do that, but it's getting bad, bro. When Garnacho, when it's taking you 7, 8 chances to put a ball on frame, but I see you. I texted Mike, fam, if he has one more haircut before the end of the year, I'm gonna fly over to London and buzz his shit myself. It's getting to the point where
That's your guy.
it's getting to the point where like
That's your guy.
the drop off is getting to the point where the guys aren't understanding that we're not in a title race. We're not in a title race, but we're in a top 4 race. The top 4 is not going to be easy for us to be in this year as it was last year. Even last year, it was difficult. So for me, looking at Chelsea right now, we have to take every game as a final. And I feel like Maresca has done okay in the big games, but in the past 2-3 weeks, there have been a lot that I can look at and say the formation is okay, but why are you playing these players who haven't played together in weeks? Badia Shield, why is he playing against one of the best teams in the league when we've seen Fofana and Chalobah put in our best center back pairing performance? I just don't understand. Fofana was on the bench. It's not like he's hurt. There was no news of a knock, but yet you decide, let's switch it up today. For me, I got to look at that and I got to say, dog, like, that's on you, man. That's on you. Yeah, we were up 1-0 in the first half, but whatever you said in the second half, the boys didn't come out energized. They looked lethargic. They looked lazy. And then as soon as the Ollie Watkins sub came on, it looked like we didn't know who he was. It looked like we forgot that he was one of the players that, led the league in goals last year. One of the players that's been called up to English national team. One of the players that has been a prolific goal scorer no matter what team he's been on in the Prem, whether it's helping his team fight relegation or keeping his team in the top 4. And so I look at the players and they failed us this match. I look at the manager and I think he just got outmanaged. To be completely honest, he got outmanaged. And for Chelsea to be one of the teams in the top 4, to continue to be in Europe, to continue to potentially win things, they're like, we've been saying this all year, bro. Consistency. Where is it at? Where is it at? And this is from the players and from the coach. It's not just the players this time. I'm looking at the manager too, like, yo, you got to set us up to win. And you did not come out in that second half setting us up to win.
I don't think he started the match setting all up to win. If I'm being honest, I the way I look at Maresca now is like, you've been here for way too long. There's no way you don't have a starting. You're starting 11. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. There's nothing that should ever scream to you. You don't have your starting 11. How long has Maresca been here? A year and a half now.
Yeah. You've won all these trophies, and
like, well, he's been here a year and a half, and you don't have your starting 11. Like, bro, absolutely not. Why? Cornelius is right. Why are we seeing Badia Shield, bro? For what? What are we seeing him for? In a marquee matchup? Why? Like, I don't. For me, I wouldn't even. And yes, you can put it on the players too. I didn't watch the full match, so I don't know how the performance was. Obviously, it wasn't that great, but just kind of looking at the highlights and then looking at ratings and other things, bro. The manager, to me, is truly at fault, bro. Like, to start the match, I'm looking at this like this is Swiss cheese. This lineup is Swiss cheese based on the back line. Swiss cheese. Like, I don't even know why Fofana or Tosin or any other center back wouldn't start where Badia Shield is starting, where he really hasn't gotten consistent minutes in the Prem, and then to throw him in to a high intense match. I mean, that's honestly beyond me. And then, I mean, look at some of your players. I mean, João Pedro, I think he's going to continue to be great for you guys. I've always liked him as a player, and I don't think he'll ever really stop producing for anyone, anywhere he goes. But Joao Pedro, or not Joao Pedro, Pedro Neto. Bro, I mean Garnacho.
No, Pedro Neto. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, even bro, where is Cole Palmer? Let's be real. Where is Cole Palmer? He was nowhere to be found.
I feel him, but he's
He was
playing with
nowhere to be found.
He's playing with Garnacho and Neto, man. That's tough.
Bro.
No, but it's
doesn't
not
matter,
even that
man.
because
That doesn't matter to me. I feel like yes, the players failed as well, but the manager. I feel like this one's on the manager. But also, your players have to look in the mirror and say, I mean, you guys were up 1-0 and they came back. You guys were at home. You guys were you let a comeback win at home. It's kind of insane work. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, just Arsenal guy, you know.
No, but you guys are right. Like, why are you still tampering with your team at this point, especially in the back? And like
No
one
sense.
guy is clearly showing you that like he's, making an impact better than what you have already tried before. I think that's silly.
it's clearly, yeah. I mean, for me, when you look at the team and when you look at Chelsea, I've said this multiple times. In the last 5 minutes of any half, we're liable to get scored on. It's just who we are. We switch off. But the entire second half, we were switched off. And for Badiashile to give the ball away in the way he did, he should have come off instantly. In a match where you're up 1-0, you give the ball away an hour in, regardless of how bad we were playing in the second half, because the first 15 minutes, Villa had chances to score on us prior to the goal. But the ball is given to Badiashile with no pressure on him on the left side.
Jeez.
He plays the ball, gives it away in our defensive third, and within 2 passes, they're in on goal. There's nothing you can do about that. That's football. We talk about the margins every week. Good teams will punish you if you give the ball away in your defensive third. We talk about that week after week after week. And unfortunately, Chelsea was the lick this weekend. We were the team that got scored on. And after that, you could see everyone's shoulders drop. You can see everyone start to bicker a little bit. You can see Cole Palmer be a little bit more frustrated. And then what happens after that? 3 minutes later, we see a triple sub. So now we're bringing on 3 players who have no bearing in this match, coming into where Villa now has all the momentum. Just as a manager, I think the sub when he did it was bad in itself, but taking off the goal scorer is showing you, oh, okay, now I'm playing defensively. That's what it showed to me. It's like, oh, okay, we don't want to go get this goal. We want to sit back and just take this draw. And when you sit back on a team that's on the front foot, you get scored on. And that's what happened. For me, that's what happened. And so I look at the players. I look at Maresca for sure. Like I said, this is on both of them. But you as a Chelsea player have to have a little bit more fight in you. For me, and we just haven't seen it these past couple of weeks. It's been tough. Ever since that Arsenal game, I haven't seen it in the Premier League. And that was 5 matches ago, 6 matches ago, over a month ago. So for me, something has to change. We need to find the consistency back. We need to find that energy back. We need to find that Chelsea, you have to fight for the badge. I have respect for Stamford Bridge. Up until 5-6 weeks ago, the bridge was a fortress, and now anybody can walk in and get some points. So for me, Chelsea's just going to have to figure it out, get back to where we were in the beginning of this year, because right now it's not looking like we want to fight for the team, and that's it's unacceptable in my opinion, as a fan and as someone that got to come over here and look at United, Liverpool, and Arsenal fans who all came off with a dub this past weekend. So
Crazy.
Yeah, dude, like help me, help you. Chelsea, golly, like help me, help you. But it's one of those things where me and Mike talk about it. When are we gonna give up that excuse of this team is young? Because like Gabriel said, we've won trophies. The core of this team has been together for 2 years now. We can't rest on that excuse anymore. It's over. People ain't trying to hear that no more. So
that team.
Yeah, Chelsea, get it together, man. Get it together. A team that has lost 3 players to AFCON, but for whatever reason has gotten it together. Still don't think Buddy is going to cut his hair because I don't see United getting 5 wins in a row anytime soon. But massive win for United this past weekend, keeping them in a European spot.
Mhm.
You know, Salam, you've had your ups and downs with the manager. You know, Amarim out a few weeks ago, but he got some pressure from the board to change his formation, go with a 4-back. And what do you know? 1-0. So how do you feel about him kind of giving in to the board as far as, you know, you were saying earlier, he's a little bit stubborn. He wants to play the way he wants to play, even if he doesn't have the players to play that way. But with 3 players out to AFCON, something had to give. So how you feel about United, and what do you think will happen moving forward?
I mean, it's about time. It's about time. I'll start there. It's about time. I understand like the whole thing, and I just think that it's not just a Ruben Amorim problem. I think it's just like a lot of managers nowadays that are coaching. It's always, this is my philosophy and this is what we're doing, and I like that. Go for that, but just like situations like this, you have to work with what you have. I mean, like, it is what it is. I remember when Arteta came into the league, and when he got with Arsenal, he wasn't playing the way that he's playing now, but he had to do what he had to do to kind of get by until he could get the players that he needed to play the way that he wanted to play. So I just think that I think it says a lot. I'm glad the board pushed and said, "Hey, we need to change something." You saw an instant difference. First half, we looked great. And then second half, I don't know. Second half was a little flat for me, but we're considerably better defensively as in a back 4 than we are in a back 3 or a back 5, whatever it is that he plays. But I mean, yeah, I just think that, like, I don't know. Why has it taken this long though? You know, like, you can't help but think like some of the points that we dropped, especially when you look at the landscape of the league. Like, yes, Arsenal, City, and Aston Villa are where they are, but like, I don't know, bro. Like, the rest of like top 4, top 5, 6, I feel like it's like wide open this year, and it's like a there for the taking. Chelsea's kind of up and down this year. Newcastle, we expected Newcastle to be here. You know, well, Isak left, all that, but like, they've kind of been shaky up until this point. I feel like the league's kind of wide open, aside from obviously 1 through 3 right now. But I just don't know why it's taking this long. And you know, I did want to shout out the Lissandro and Aiden Heaven. I thought that they had great games, and the system works. It's just a matter of now. I think he will do it, but I don't know. Why has it taken you? Because at this point, he's been there a year. Why has it taken you damn near over 12 months to realize the way that I want to play doesn't suit the play we have here?
Just pure stubbornness. Not only did he have a year, but he had all of last January, and then he had a full summer to think about it, and then came back and still did a 3-back. That's the even crazier part. I think his job finally got on the line. I think someone probably made a call to him like, "Hey, we will fire you at this point." And he was like, "You know what? Maybe it's time for a change."
It's funny it took him that long, man.
Yeah, I can't believe it took him that long either, bro. But this is beyond. We've been saying this for easily 6 months, 7 months probably. Like, you guys need to play a 4-back. This 3-back thing is not working.
Which is why, like, to your point, it's like, what does that tell you as a player if you're in the locker room now? You know, and you're looking at him, and it's like, clearly, because the first 20 minutes, I was like, wow, we look up for it. I was like, Delo, you've looked terrible all season, bro. You look great the first half, damn near the whole game. And like, it's just like, I don't. How can I see that here? And it took you, and I don't know. You just can't help but think too, like look at the players that we let go too. I mean, yeah, we let go of Garnacho, but it's just like, look at Rashford. You can't help but think, damn, if we had his goals and assists right now, because of the because we're playing the formation that suits him now. I don't know. Here we are.
Sancho too.
Sancho,
Yeah.
Sancho, shout out. He was gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna save it. I might do it twice, man. Shout out Sancho, man. We came back from a lot. You know what I'm saying? We came back from a lot. He had a great cameo when he came on. Him and Ollie Watkins versus Chelsea. It was one of the few games I watched from start to finish. I was really, really happy to see him balling.
But yeah, no, I think Emery. I mean, obviously it's not too late because it's not too late and he's made the change. But my goodness, bro, like I'm not a football manager. I don't even play football manager. Yet, how can I see this with clear eyes for months?
Yeah.
Like you're that stubborn, bro. Like you can't you're afraid to admit like I was wrong. My fault, bro. I was wrong.
I feel like Amram still has a player's mentality rather than a coach's mentality.
Mhm.
I feel like he
That's a good
still
point.
thinks as a I feel like he still thinks as a player who's freshly or recently retired a couple of years ago or whatever. And like he doesn't have that maturity as a coach, to see what's wrong and what's not going on. Maybe it's an ego problem as well.
Definitely ego
And
too.
it's and that's that's something he's gonna have to learn. That's something he's gonna have to learn through the years, man, because you gotta check your ego. You gotta check your ego. If you lose the locker room, then no matter how good you are, it's just not gonna work.
Yeah.
And this is how good coaches, figure it out and change things. And it brings me to Chelsea. Corn, you can really be mad at Unai Emery because the loss against Aston Villa was due to a tactical genius move from Emery. I mean, like after 60 minutes, he made three changes. Onana got in, Sancho, Watkins, and just Chelsea.
Yeah.
Chelsea wasn't the same team anymore. Chelsea didn't exist anymore after that. It was like it just it was a different team, like literally.
Yeah, we were outmanaged.
And
No,
and
100%.
yeah, and the game just switched like that. And that's Emery is he tactically he's really that guy. And you know I feel like Amorim is not really having that mentality, of a coach that admits that he's wrong, of a coach that I don't know if it's like stubbornness or whatever, but it's like he knows he's wrong, but he wants so badly to prove that he's right that he's willing to like jeopardize the team just to prove that he's right. I feel like that's
That's
what's going on here.
Poppy, that's exactly what stubbornness is.
That's literally what's
That's
going on here,
stubbornness,
and
bro.
it's like he's definitely doing that. And I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I personally think that he should have been gone a while ago. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Like think about the points we dropped. And it's just like wow.
So
Okay.
cool. It's okay, man. Y'all can keep them. It's a free money store over there. So
Yeah, I mean some of these. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say though, some players are emerging though. Aiden Heaven is emerging as a player that we potentially could be relying on. So I like that. It does kind of raise questions about. I look at Lenny Euro now, and I'm like, well, this guy's playing well, and I mean, it's he hasn't had like I would say like the best start to his United career, but I feel like it's been very unstable ever since he's came in. New manager, like I mean, it's just it is what it is.
But also, I'm looking at him like, bro,
No, you're right.
An 18-year-old starting over you.
Yeah, which it's like
I'm still looking at you like, bro. He was on our academy. He broke into our first team for sure, and he was a player that he obviously wouldn't have been chosen each and every match week, but he would have been made some match day squads. Probably would have gotten some time. Lenny Euro is a guy who's been getting senior team minutes for quite a bit now.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised to see that Aiden Heaven. Nothing, no like disrespect to Aiden Heaven. It's Arsenal Academy. You like the guy, but never would have thought that Lenny Euro would be sitting a back to Aiden Heaven. If I'm being honest, at this point in their careers, crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not playing over Martinez is kind of the low plays, especially if we go into this four back. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy he's on our team, but it's some players have been emerging, and that's encouraging to see.
It's cool. We'll buy him. We need more. We need 20 center backs, left backs, right backs, and left center backs. So
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't think that he rocks. I think that there's. I'm not. I will say this, but I think Amram, like, I don't think he rates Euro. I don't think he rates Euro.
I was
don't
going to
think
say
he-
the same thing. So
I don't think he rates Manu. I don't think he rates
No.
Xerxes. Xerxes, we were just talking about it before we started recording, bro. Like, I don't.
yeah.
It's a little. I don't know. So some of these guys, I get it though. Sell the players that have value because we have no money. So that's the biggest reason why I think that we're trying to get rid of Manu for real, just because it's pure profit with FFP. But here we are.
But yeah, man. Shout out Patrick Dorgu with a banger for United this past weekend, man. We didn't talk about him, but had to say he hit it so clean. He hit it so sweet, man. Like it was one of those where you just saw him tracking it, and I was just like, if he makes contact with this, is going in. And
Yeah, he did.
yeah. But yeah, man, it'll be interesting to see what happens when the players come back from AFCON. You know, Mazraoui and Mbeumo Ahmad, who just got another player of the match here in AFCON, which we'll talk about in a little bit. You come back with those three players playing this system, you could really, really make a push for top 4 this year. But we would be remiss if we did not talk about the league leaders, Arsenal, who continues to win week after week to make sure that, City got something to play for every week as well. But 2-1 win over Brighton, an own goal FC this past month. But Gabriel, how do you feel about this Arsenal team? Continuing to just get it done. Good, bad, ugly, dirty. You guys are finding wins where the wins are. And that's what championship teams do. We've been saying this for the last couple of years, but you have to win these games. And you're finding ways to win these games.
Yeah. Yeah. We found a way, all right. I mean, own goal, a lot of own goals this month for sure. I think that just comes from the set piece brilliance and us whipping in good set piece, good balls off of set pieces and things of that sort. So I think that just is going to come with the territory of us continuing to be dominant at set pieces. But yeah, I think the first goal was great. I love to see Odegaard back scoring again. This is something that I feel like, again, 2 years ago would have been part of his norm, something that we haven't really seen from him in a really long time. I can't tell you last time I saw an Odegaard goal from outside the box. So, it was really, really good to see him get a goal. I know that was good for his confidence and good for the team in general. I feel like whenever your captain is producing at an extremely high level, it only makes the team better. I credit that, like, when you look at Virgil's season when he almost won Ballon d'Or, like Liverpool was flying that season because he was just so amazing. The team feeds off of that. So Odegaard playing well and getting that goal early definitely was good for us and appreciated that. But I'm just still kind of, I'm still kind of annoyed with my team of not having this killer instinct, bro. We just don't have it. Just don't. I think this could just be rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but there was like a little tweet that I think it was Saliba mouthing to Gabriel. And I think it might have been this match, maybe not. It was like Saliba mouthing Gabriel, like we're not mean enough. And I don't know if it was true. That's what he said to him, or whatever it could be. It could be AI. Who knows? But like, I agree, bro. Like we're not mean enough. We don't have the killer instinct. We don't have the. In some moments we do, but we don't have it in every moment, and that's what we need. Like we need to have that all the time. There's some matches where we'll run it up 5, 6. Everyone wants to get a goal, but then there'll be a match like this when, shoot, Gyökeres, you could have scored in the first 3 minutes. I don't know what you were doing. Martinelli, Saka gave you a sitter. I don't know what you were doing. Gyökeres, there multiple times Saka played a ball across the six, where were you to be found? You know what I mean? Like there are moments where I just feel like we should be scoring more. Like I said, goal differentials is massive in the English Premier League when it comes to not only winning championships, but qualifying for Champions League and all of these things. So, it was extremely disappointing to not only give up a weak goal, but not only to give up a weak goal, but then also to just not score more. And I don't think they score that goal if Gyökeres scores in the first 2 minutes, then Odegaard scores. I don't see them. I see us scoring again and again after that. Like you see that becoming more of a route. I don't see them getting a goal in the 62nd minute, and now it completely changes the landscape of the game. Now for the last 20, 30 minutes, we're fighting for our lives, trying to make sure that we secure 3 points at home, and we have to ask David Raya to again save us, bro. Literally save us with probably one of the saves of the season, if not the save of the season so far. So, yeah, man, it's frustrating giving up goals that we shouldn't be giving up, and then also just not having the killer instinct, which I really don't know what it's going to take for us to get that, bro. I really don't. Like, is it more heartbreak? Is that what we need? Do we need another year? Like, I don't know what it's going to take for you guys to say, hey, we got 1, let's go get 2. Hey, we got 2, let's go get 3. Hey, we got 3, let's go get 4. Hey, we got 4, let's go get 5. Oh, okay. We don't need to go get 6 right now. It's the 80th minute where we can shit a little bit. Like, that should be the mentality every single match. And it doesn't seem like that is the mentality. So, we're happy with the win. But again, a better team, a different moment, we're not as informed. That goal, that shot that Mente takes on Raya, it goes in, bro. And now it's 2-2, and now we're against it, so we got away with one, but like I said, bro, your luck only lasts so long. So we've been this month, I think, we've had a good amount of good play, but a good amount of luck as well. I think we need to get back on the side of, putting our destiny into our own hands and taking control of our future with our own hands and not leaving it up to chance with some of these results, which I feel like. So, Declan Rice right back, great performance. Don't really want to see it again, if I'm being honest. I understand, but like I said, I'm over the D mids going into right back and things of that sort. Again, Arteta, I don't know why this isn't a match where even if you start Declan Rice at right back, why are we starting Moreno, Zubamendi, and Odegaard? Why not put Eze in there? Why not be more attacking minded? Why not let them build their connection and grow a little bit more? But I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. So great to have Jesus back. He looked great as soon as he came on. Obviously Gyökeres had his struggles, a lot of struggles during this match, but yeah, we got our 3 points. We move. We stay atop of the table, and we have a very tough match coming up. And it's a very important match coming up. Kind of leading into not only 2026, but for the rest of the Prem season. So just looking forward to hopefully getting players back pretty soon and getting a dub this Tuesday.
Yeah, it's my only thing with Arsenal, man. Like Arteta, you have the players to kind of be a little bit more offensive,
to dominate. Yeah, bro.
I mean, that comes with taking risks, and I get it. This is the year. You don't want to mess up, but it's like I don't know, but no,
if you play it too safe, that's how you end up losing. Like,
no, I agree.
You're on it's like, I don't know, equate it to gambling, but it's like if you're on a heater, gambling wise, and you're you're just hitting, you keep hitting. Why slow down? Like City, like no, seriously, why slow down? Like keep going, bro. Keep betting, keep putting more bread down.
Yeah,
City plays a very, very offensive. They've been winning and winning and winning and winning. They're not changing anything. Yeah. We haven't been playing as offensively as we could have been all season. but we're winning. We have these opportunities to be more expansive and to be more offensively dominant. Take the opportunity, bro. We're on a heater. Keep
It's like
pushing.
they're
Keep
being
pushing.
careful. They're being careful of something, and you don't even know what it is. It's like they're like, let's watch out.
Yeah, it's they're scared. They're scared to lose because they've lost the past 3 seasons, which I can understand. But being scared money don't make no money. Let's keep it a stack. Scared money makes no money, bro. Scared decisions don't get you wins. Don't put you in a positive. Don't help the situation, bro. How many stories have we heard where, bro, I didn't know if I made the right decision, but this is the one I trusted in my gut and I just went for it and it worked out.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. You have to get out of your comfortable zone. You have to be comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You feel me? And that's the only way that you're gonna win championships. So I don't know. I still think that he needs to figure out this midfield a bit more. And I'm not going to speak on Gyökeres too much because I already know it is what it is. There's enough. I don't feel like it needs to be spoken about. Like, we know what it is right now. So I don't feel like I need to speak on it. It is what it is. We got our 3 points. Like I said in the group chat, bro, bring me Kai Havertz back soon, man, so he can teach them some things.
That we'll revisit during our rest of season episode at the 6th. Victor Gyökeres. But no, I think no lie though, Gabriel Jesus, him coming back, he just looks lively. Y'all just look so like more fluid with him. You know,
he's our typical. If he could actually score, if he could finish consistently, bro, that's our ideal striker, the one who can hold the ball up and connect passes and still be goal bound. Like he does. Jesus does everything right except the finishing product. Which is the most important part. So
Benzema.
I wish it was crazy. I think someone tweeted, they were like, bro, people are calling for Jesus. People are happy that Jesus is back for getting the 3 years that we had with him of absolute misses and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, bro, it's that's how sad it is right now. It's crazy.
It shows the state of your strikers.
VG.
Yeah, bro. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but yeah. Yasser said this in the beginning of the season, and I didn't think he was right. But he was like, bro, if Kai Havertz was healthy at the beginning of the season, he would have started and he should start. And I was like, nah, bro. But looking at it, I mean, in hindsight, like, this probably wasn't be the wrong decision. Like, Kai Havertz, I'm no joke. Kai Havertz is healthy, walks into the 9, no questions asked. If I see Kai Havertz over Gyökeres, I'm cool. I'm so okay with that.
Is it crazy? Is it crazy to say that he's 3rd in the pecking order, or maybe even 4th? Mikel Moreno.
Damn. I wouldn't say bro. I still wouldn't say that. I would say the only
he's 3rd by default.
I'll still say he's 2nd. He's 2nd, bro. The only person I'm putting over him is Kai Havertz. I still think healthy Arteta's gonna put Moreno in the midfield over anything or just not start him there. If they're both healthy, and I don't think there's a world where they're both healthy that Moreno starts over Gyökeres. Like, Moreno's in the starting lineup and Gyökeres on there. I just
That'd be crazy.
That would be the craziest work I've ever seen. And at that point, we need to look to sell. If that's what it's come to, we need to sell.
Wow.
Like, if that's what it comes to, bro, we need to sell 100%. Like when remember when Zinni got the false 9 over Jesus to one, like that's when Jesus knew I needed to leave. That's when Gyökeres is like, man, it's that time, bro. You need to go ahead and step out of here. So
crazy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, until I see something like that, I'm gonna say Gyökeres. I think me personally, I think he's gonna be 2nd to Kai Havertz when he comes back. So yeah.
No, but that's good talk on Arsenal, man. You guys have a lot of good problems, but I do agree with you. Y'all don't have that venom to go and just beat up on teams, and that could be, your Achilles heel when you get down the road to the, week 30, week 31, week 32 vibes. But for now, it's working. So as long as you guys are getting wins, it'll keep you in first place. It'll keep you in first place. Just can't drop any points. So we'll get to our
Stay in
predictions a
first
little bit
place.
later. But before we get into the predictions, man, AFCON. Week
Yeah.
2 or round 2 matches are in the books. All of them ended today. I'm not going to go and talk on every single match, but we did have some big matches in the AFCON that I do want to touch on a little bit. Definitely got to talk about Senegal here, but before we do that, it was actually interesting. I saw that in round 2, all of the North African teams scored on a pen and won their match. Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, and Egypt. All 4 teams were awarded a penalty. And I thought it was a conspiracy, but when you look at the fouls, they were all fouls.
Controversially,
Some of them were a little bit more controversial than others, but you know, when you do look at them at the end of the day, they were all fouls. But let's talk about Egypt, South Africa. This match, very, very, very exciting. Egypt now sits on top of the group with 6 points. South Africa, 3 points. Egypt won 1-0 off a Salah penalty in the 45th minute. And then they had to play the whole second half down a man. So for Egypt to actually get that win was huge for them. Poppy, were you able to watch the match, and then your thoughts on it?
yeah. I was able to watch the match. I actually watched all the games. Egypt, man. First of all, shout out to Egypt. I have respect for them. You know, at the end of the day, it's Egypt. It's the greatest African country when it comes to AFCON. 7 stars on their badge. They know how to do this thing. Down one man, you know, played with 10 guys at halftime, you know, had to play the whole second half with 10 men and still were able to not concede. It was a defensive masterclass that was put on by Hossam Hassan, the head coach. At the same time, you know, there were a lot of, you know, controversy regarding the referee, but this is something that you should you know, this is something that you should plan for when you play for a team like Egypt. You know, we know how Egypt plays, and you know, for them to be able to withstand, you know, that pressure and, you know, hold their own and not concede, you know, no matter how it happened, you know, the fact that they didn't concede with 10 men. South Africa tried hard, you know, they tried everything. They dominated the second half, you know, but Egypt just stayed solid, and you know, they ended up taking the 3 points, and you know, that's props to them, you know, that's much respect to them. uh I thought that South Africa was going to win this group. Obviously they're not anymore. But they're still, you know, they still have 3 points. They can still, you know, make it to the next round. But yeah, congratulations to Egypt, first team to qualify. You know, just mad props to them.
Oh, I was muted. Yeah, I was going to say the same. This is, like I said, I feel like Salah has something to prove. Um, you know, with this whole saga that he had at Liverpool right before he left the Premier League to go to AFCON. He I wouldn't say he's playing angry, but he's playing like he has something to prove. And it's been good to see Egypt win their first 2 matches.
Yeah, but the only thing that I have, the only problem that I have with the game is, you know, certain decisions just change the whole course of a game. The penalty for Egypt was never a penalty. Like honestly, come on. Like that's
Mm.
I don't that's not a penalty, man. That's
Hmm.
look, when it comes to penalties, when it comes to like what the referee should have done, we all have our opinions, but that was really really soft, man. That was to me that wasn't warrant a penalty. And on the other hand, South Africa definitely deserved a penalty in the second half. That was a clear handball, and the ref
That
didn't
that
even
I
want
can
to
agree
go.
with.
Yeah, the ref didn't even want to go look at the VAR until,
That was the
you
thing
know,
for
they
me.
like, I'm like, bro, at least go check it out. And like, he didn't want to do it until they put pressure on him, and then he
Mhm.
went to see it, and like everybody thought, it's obvious now. He can see, because the thing is, the action happened right in front of him. He was literally right in front of it, and he didn't say anything. So what I don't understand is how come you go check the VAR, you see that it's a clear handball. At first, what he did was he pointed out that he was outside the box. So he called for a free kick, right? And the South African players are like, no, it's a penalty. And then they put pressure on him to go check it. He went and checked it. You see that it's a handball. He comes back. Not only it's not a penalty, but it's not even a free kick anymore. And like that was his first decision. So this is the thing that's like, this is the thing that gets me, because like when AFCON comes, you see these games and it's like really good and it's like, really entertaining games. But then some games, man, you have decisions coming from the referees that just, messes everything up. But I mean, it is what it is. It's football. This happens everywhere.
Yeah,
Egypt had the penalty, they scored it, and yeah, they held their ground. They got a 3 points. Nothing more respect.
I just feel like with AFCON, everyone has to deal with these refs. I feel like everyone's going to deal with the controversial decision that
Man,
it's going to be so egregious that we're just going to look and be like, "Hey, man, it's AFCON." So, bro, this AFCON has been, oh man,
Yeah.
this just decision
Yeah,
after decision, bro. I can't. Every match I watch, I just laugh. I can't help but laugh, bro. Because not only is it entertaining,
it's hilarious.
football,
You have to laugh.
like it's not only entertaining football, but then all the off the field antics after the match are, oh man, second to none, bro. Second to none,
Bro.
This honestly might be more entertaining than the World Cup. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Gabe,
No
I don't know
lie,
if you
it
watched
might.
the last AFCON. The last AFCON was pure cinema.
That
one was worse than this.
last AFCON was
That one was
insane.
crazy. Never seen
When the ref
anything
called
like
the
it.
match
Yeah.
8 minutes early.
8 minutes. I was like, yo,
These things that we've never even seen in football before. Like, what? We're doing anything
crazy,
out here
man.
now. All right.
You see the reporter? The reporter was talking to the one coach, and she asked him. She said, "I gotta send it to y'all." She said, "What was the most difficult moment of the match?" And he just looked at her. He like looked at her and was like, "This moment right here." Like what, bro?
You gotta send it.
If you want to laugh,
No
please
shame,
watch
bro. No
post
shame.
AFCON.
Oh,
AFCON
man.
post game interviews are the best, man.
Shout out to
Yeah, I know
No
the
shame.
compilations. Bro, this compilation after AFCON is going to be. I know someone's gonna have like a 20-minute funniest moments, and it's going to be pure comedy.
100.
Hey,
It's crazy.
But yeah, next
But
match
yeah,
I want to talk about is the host Morocco versus Mali. This actually ended up in a 1-1 draw. Yo, Mali, man, they before I go, let me talk about the table. So Morocco's on top of the table, 4 points. Mali second place with 2 points. Zambia also has 2 points, and then Comoros is in last place with 1 point. Mali surprised me. It was I wasn't able to watch their first match, but I did see pretty much the full match against Morocco. And when I'm not sure if y'all saw it. I'm sure y'all saw it. The advert that Nike did with JJ Okocha, right before the AFCON started.
beautiful.
He was talking about how African players bring flair to the game. Mali has been bringing that flair to the game. I'm not sure if I sent it in our group, but leading up to their goal, I think they had like 16 passes before their goal, and it was just a masterfully done. It's just football in its purest form. You start with a defense, you play through the midfield, you play it back, then you swing it from one side to the other. I mean, their goal was just well done. It's just perfect football. But this Mali team, if they can make it out their group, I think that this is a team that nobody really wants to see. They defend well and they play with flair. Like I said, they're a very, very tricky team. Also, probably leaders of best kits in the AFCON this year. They're definitely top 3. Gabriel was talking about it. Yeah, they top 3 for me as far as their kits. I like the drip. They got the all white with the drip.
What's your top 3, Poppy? Jerseys.
the Mali kids.
Oh
fly.
man, I would say Algeria, Nigeria,
Which
and
one?
I
Like the
think
home kids? The home kids?
yeah, Algeria, the home kits, the white ones
The white
are
ones.
really nice.
But
They're
there's
Yeah,
a
clean.
Nigeria, the black ones with the green, stuff on it. And third one, I don't know. I don't know, but not Mali. I don't. I wouldn't say
You
Mali.
not messing with it?
Nah,
that'd
I'm
be
not
my three.
messing with it.
I'd put Molly in there, definitely in the top three.
Damn,
I
fuck
did
with it
I'm
or
like.
pretty
fuck out of
sure.
here.
I'm pretty
I
sure I saw a team yesterday with some really nice ones. I forgot who it was. I don't know if it was Uganda. I don't remember. Yeah, well, I'll think about it again. I mean, Mali's ones are nice though. I just wouldn't have it top three.
Fair enough. Fair
You
enough.
don't got the vision, Poppy. It's okay, man.
Hey, it is what it is.
Cameroon though, Cote d'Ivoire.
But Cameroon,
We ain't
you
talking
talk
about
about their jerseys?
No, I'm saying the game.
Oh, I was just
Oh, the
going. I was
game.
just going by days. So they're
Oh,
actually the
okay.
last game I want to talk
Oh,
about.
regarding the Mali game, same thing as the Egypt game, bro. Refereeing, like it's like okay, I don't wanna because they always complain about it, but bro, I feel like these refs have some sort of complex with the Maghrebian teams. It's like every year it's the same thing. Every year when a team plays either Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, like you don't
Damn.
wanna.
Yeah.
I knew he
He,
was
he was
there.
about to go off. They said,
No,
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 no.
no, no.
I get it.
StreamYard said,
Like,
no, not the North
Yeah.
so
Africans.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's still going.
Morocco has Morocco basically, like I said, the first game they didn't convince me. If you remember, I told y'all like, yeah, sure, they got the job done. They got the 3 points, but they didn't convince me. They looked a little, a little stressed, a little shaky, because they played Comoros and they were supposed to. I expected them to beat Comoros like 6-0 or something like that, but they actually struggled to beat them. They did have a really nice goal, but they didn't look convincing at all. And you know, the game against Mali, same thing. They had another penalty that was controversial. You know, on top of that, Mali didn't get a lot of calls that they should have gotten. Even the penalty that Mali got, like it took, some real pressure in order for the ref to give it. But at first he didn't want to. He didn't even want to look at it. Like, and it's the same thing. Morocco, I feel like whenever they face adversity, they start to. I feel like they don't they can't handle the pressure of hosting these AFCON. And if you remember, I told you last time, uh, Morocco hasn't been past quarterfinals since 2004. That's 22 years of failure in the AFCON. You know, so for a top team like that to host and to have no excuse because you're hosting, you have no excuse because you're the number one ranked team in Africa in the FIFA ranking, no excuse because you've won literally everything in the last 2 years, no excuse because this same team went to the World Cup semifinals, no excuse because you added Brahim Jazz. So like right now, there's literally no excuse for you to lose, and you're playing at home. Every game is packed. So like how come are you struggling in these games, and I feel like that pressure is too much for them, and I feel like whenever a team plays well or whenever they face adversity, they start to like feel the pressure and like they start to panic. That's what I'm saying. Obviously they're going to qualify, they're going to get out of their group, but against a tough opponent, they just might crumble. But it's going to be a tough game against Zambia next match because they also have 3 points, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they beat Comoros. Uh, they drew. I think they drew Mali in the first game, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check, but yeah. So right now, I don't know if they drew or they had two draws, so
No,
they have 2 points
Comoros
right
is
now.
sitting on 1 point, and Zambia is sitting on 2 points.
Yeah, so against Morocco, Zambia is going to go all in. And when Zambia goes all in, it's tough because Zambia is a really hard team to play in AFCON. It's one of those teams that they might not beat you, but they're not gonna want to lose to you. Like it's one of those teams. So it's going to be really, really hard. But I think obviously Morocco is gonna get it done, but I'm not convinced at all. I'm not convinced at all by the way they've been playing so far.
Yeah, that's good. That's good commentary on Morocco, the host nation. Like I said, they are sitting on 4 points, so they are leading the group right now. But they see Zambia next, and like Bobby said, they're going to throw everything at the wall. We got to talk about your host or your home country, I should say. Senegal drew. Mane was able to get that equalizing goal about 8 minutes after Congo opened up the scoring in the second half in the 61st minute. Congo, I think Gabriel was the one that was saying that this might be his dark horse. This team has looked good through the first two matches, currently sitting on 4 points as well with Senegal. Both of them won their first match against Benin and Botswana, respectively. But obviously, these are the strongest two teams in the group. I'm not sure where Poppy went. I'll have him talk about Senegal, but it was good to see Mane score. I think that he needed to, open up his account here sooner than later because although he is the elder statesman on this Senegal team, this is still, Sadio Mane. This is still someone who we know it can score in the best of the best. And for him to get his goal today, I think it was huge for Senegal. This Congo team, though, like Gabriel said, they're very, very strong. They're strong defensively, and they can move forward as well. So this just wanted to hear Poppy and how he felt about his home country, Senegal. Where homie go? So as soon as we bring something up, he always want to duck. Over here, ducking the Senegal smoke. But that's okay. We can move on look like having some technical difficulties. Nigeria versus Tunisia. This game was a banger. 3-2. And honestly, I feel like Nigeria should kind of go. They should be happy with the win. But this is one of those matches where you kind of have to look at yourself in the mirrors thinking, how do we let it get to this? Because Nigeria was up 3-0, should have coasted this match home. And then in the 74th minute, Tunisia gets a goal from Talbi. And then in the 87th minute, 3-2 due to a penalty. And, those last 5 to 10 minutes were very, very hectic, to say the least. But Nigeria versus Tunisia. Poppy, we'll talk about that match, and then we'll go back to Senegal because that was where we're talking to when you were having your technical difficulties. But I was just saying Nigeria should have coasted that match through. They were up 3-0 up until the 74th minute. Morocco gets one back, and then in the 87th minute, there was a penalty as well awarded to or not Morocco, Tunisia, sorry.
Tunisia.
Yeah, Tunisia, sorry. And so for Tunisia to, even fight their way back into that match, I think was kind of more telling on Nigeria and how they kind of switched off a little bit. But right now, Nigeria, top of the table in their Group C with 6 points, Tunisia 3 points, and then Tanzania and Uganda have a point each to their name. But what did you think about Nigeria showing in their match against Tunisia?
Nigeria is, in my opinion, right now, the most unpredictable team in African football.
Facts.
You never know what's gonna happen with these guys. It's like first they struggle so hard, they don't qualify for the World Cup, which is a big thing for Nigeria. Coach is under a lot of pressure. They come to this AFCON in a group where they have to face a team like Tunisia, teams like Tanzania and Uganda. And first game against Tanzania, they win, normal. And then they play against Tunisia and they look just great. Osimhen just puts on a masterclass offensively. This guy is really, really good. He's really hard to defend on. Like his positioning is really impressive. Like the way he plays is really impressive. And they go up 3-0 very easily too. Could have been more. They missed a lot of chances,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was when he scored his first goal though, he was I don't know who he was mad at, but like he was like, he was mad at someone. I don't know if he was the coach or someone on the bench, but like he had to be calmed down by his teammates or whatever. But he scores a goal, and then Nindi scores like 6 minutes later, and then Lukman also is playing really great for Nigeria.
Had two assists
They
and a goal in that match. Yeah.
he's yeah, he's been terrific as well. And then all of a sudden, Nigeria just transforms into the team that couldn't qualify for the World Cup. Like all of a sudden, just like that. Like after going up 3-0, and Tunisia starts coming back and they score two goals within like 15 minutes, and Nigeria starts falling under pressure. And like if the game went 10 more minutes, maybe Tunisia could have, equalized. But um I'm impressed by Nigeria. I honestly didn't think that they would have 6 points after their first two games, but they did. And that's why they're an unpredictable team, because they can play terrible for 30 minutes, and then for the next 30 minutes they can play like the best team in the continent, and that's why they're unpredictable. So literally anything can happen with them. Tunisia woke up too late. I feel like they respected Nigeria too much. I feel like
Hmm.
they didn't I don't know, maybe like because the name is there, it's Nigeria. I feel like on paper Nigeria has more talented players, I guess. They respected them too much, but when they realized that they could actually compete with them, they did, and it was good, except that it was too late because Nigeria was already up with three goals. um but yeah, it was a really good game too, and I feel like we can watch out for Nigeria in this AFCON. I didn't think that they would go far, but they could shock a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a good point.
I just think Nigeria better get all this system out of their system now in the group stages, because when it comes to knockout round, I know their country is gonna be
That's
dealing with this.
forgiving.
Yeah, so yeah. I don't, but Tunisia is no slouch, and I've been saying this even before AFCON even started. I said, Tunisia is also another dark horse for me in this tournament that could make a sneaky little run. So, um, I, yeah, who knows with them, man? Every year, it's just a roller coaster with Nigeria, man. Every year,
Yeah, and I would,
Very hard team to
before.
score on too. Tunisia, very
yeah.
hard team to score on. So for Nigeria to score three on them, that was a shocker for me. But there's a reason why Tunisia also qualified for the World Cup, and they had the easiest qualification. I think they won all their games or almost all their games. They had the most points out of all the countries that qualified. So they're no scrubs. Just because they lost this game doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, and we want to go back to your team. Senegal had a little bit of trouble with Congo. Who we had Gabriel as a dark horse, but how do you feel about this Senegal team? It was good to see Mane score, like I talked about, but overall, when you look
Yeah.
forward to the team itself, how do you feel about the tournament?
It's it's always hard to speak about your country objectively because, it's your country. But I am actually not. A lot of people are overreacting about this, but I think we're fine. Honestly, we gotta realize that we were not playing, a small team. We were playing Congo. This is the same Congo that came to Dakar and held us to a 1-1 tie. I've I think since 2010, unless I'm not in Senegal, I've been to almost all the home games that Senegal have played. I've been to the
Mm.
stadium. It's extremely rare for a country to come to Dakar and not lose. And Congo came here a month ago and they held us to a 1-1 tie. And then it's the same Congo that went up 2-0 against us in October or September, I don't remember. And it took a miracle for us to come back and win that game. This is the same Congo that is currently playing great in the World Cup qualifiers that are in the playoffs. The same Congo that eliminated Nigeria in the World Cup qualifier. This is the same Congo that went to the third place game. I mean, third place game last AFCON. So this is a solid team. This is the kind of team you can have trouble against. So to me, it's normal to have trouble against them. What is not normal is that Senegal obviously has the best team on paper. We have the best talent. We play the best football. I think anyone could agree. The only issue is we are not scoring as many goals as we should score. It takes us 10 to 15 chances for us to score 2 goals, and that is not normal, you know. And Nicholas Jackson, he will have to like it's hard because first game he scores 2 goals and like you gotta
Hmm.
congratulate him on that. And then second game, you know, he misses. And even in the first game, he scores 2 goals, but he could have scored like five easily because he had like seven clear chances, but it
Oh,
always takes him
something like
so
that.
many chances in order for him to score one or two. It takes him a lot of chances, and that is not going to work against these top teams. I feel like this game against Congo was a warning. Um, Also, the coaching has to be better. We have so much potential on the bench that we're not using. I mean, Pape Matar Sarr is on the bench. You know, Habib Diarra is on the bench. Diouf from West Ham is on the bench. We have so many options, and we're not using these options. And I feel like, uh, now you put yourself in a tough situation because you have to play Benin for the third game. Benin just won their last game, so Benin had 3 points now. Um, that was, I believe, their first AFCON win, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. So now Benin, wants to go all in. Now you have to play Benin, and you have to, play hard to win. Whereas you could have won this game against Congo and just rest some of your players, try some new tactics, do something that would be different, But now you have to keep the top guys active for the third game against Benin. But still, I think it's good to have some sort of small wake up call, I would call it, because there was, as Sadio Mane said after the game in the press conference, he said that this draw is good for us because there's a lot of euphoria, surrounding the team. And I
Hmm.
kind of agree on that, I kind of agree on that because even in Dakar here in Senegal, you can feel it. Everyone feels like we should march on everyone and beat everyone, and that's not how African football works, man. I've I've been watching AFCON since 2002. I don't remember a team that won the AFCON by beating all that by winning all their games. I don't recall. Even prime Egypt that went back to back to back on a three-peat, '06, '08, and 2010, they didn't win all their games. You struggle sometimes against certain teams. These things happen. And in the last AFCON, Senegal had a tougher group. We had Cameroon, we had Gambia, we had Guinea. We won all our first three games in fashion, and then we got eliminated in the next round against Cote d'Ivoire. The AFCON that we won, we had a really weak group. We had Malawi and I don't Zimbabwe, I think, and I don't know who else. And we qualified with only 4 points. We had two no games and we still won the AFCON. So these things happen. We just gotta regroup, not take it, too seriously. But there's a lot of changes that need to be made in terms of, scoring. We have to fix that, man. We can't keep missing these chances. You know, Against Botswana, it can work. Against Congo, it can work. And Congo could have won this game too. They were scared of us. They felt some sort of, I guess, inferiority because we beat them just 2 or 3 months ago in their house, and we have the best team. So they came already, you know, not being, on the attack mode, and that's actually what helped us. But if they actually tried to win this game, they could have won this game because they had the opportunity to win this game. But that luck is not going to keep happening against tough teams, because these teams will not give you, the opportunity to, to fool around. So we need to fix those issues real quick. And I really hope that we use some of our options on the bench more, because it would be too sad for us to have so much talent and not use it. Ibrahim Bay, 17 years old from
Ibrahim,
PSG,
yeah, he a dog.
came in a dog, man. He came in and he had a tremendous. He changed the game basically. He was the one who
Hmm.
who made the goal happen pretty much. Even though Sadio Mane scored, but he was the one who changed the game. And if you can see, after scoring the goal, Sadio Mane was mad because everyone was like celebrating, and he was like, "What are you celebrating? Like we should be beating these guys, and we're right now struggling against them." But yeah, Ismail Assar had a terrible game. I hope that it's not going to happen again. A lot of people are saying Ibrahim Bey should start over him, but I still think he should start because he's had, these things happen. Sometimes you have off games, but it's good to have talent like Ibrahim Bey on the bench,
Yeah,
and you have that, you have to use it. There are a lot of guys as talented as him, if not more, on the bench that still haven't played a single minute in this AFCON, and we have to rotate. So yeah.
No,
he a
that's
dog.
good analysis on Senegal for sure. Like we said, going into this tournament, we kind of all figured that they were the favorites to win. They have the strongest team, top to bottom. When you look at the starting 11, no matter who starts, and then who they can bring off the bench, just like you said, there's so much talent sprinkled on that Senegalese team. So it was good to see, Congo give them a little bit of run for their money. I think they needed that wake up call. Um, but yeah, so we'll see what they do going into week 3 and then, into the knockout rounds.
And
A match I
Congo
just
has a
want to
really good coach. Congo has a really good coach. Just to add that point, the Sabri is a really good coach. And it's totally normal for him to outcoach Pap Thiaw, who is playing his first major tournament as a head coach. So yeah, that's also something that people forget about.
good point. So a match that we don't have to spend too much time on, but I do want to talk about was Gabon versus Mozambique. I thought this was a match where Gabon would be able to
Man,
make their mark on this AFCON. We saw that Aubameyang got to start this time, which was I don't know why he didn't start in match week 1, but that's
Yeah,
probably why they won't be advancing into the knockout rounds of this tournament. Aubameyang scored in the 45th minute, right at the end of the half, to keep the goals close. It was 2-1 at the end of the first half, but then Mozambique ended up winning 3-2. This was huge for Mozambique. When you look at the table, both Ivory Coast and Cameroon sit on top with 4 points, but Mozambique, with that win, actually gives them 3 points. So this group is not over yet. Anybody can get out, anybody could lose, and anybody can be that third place team hoping to, just qualify off points. So I'm not sure if you're able to watch that game, but your thoughts on Gabon and their early exit?
man, uh, shocking. I had Gabon. I had them, easily qualifying to the next round, and now they're almost eliminated. And it's
mm,
really shocking because the reason why this is shocking to me is like it's like I've seen two Gabon teams in a span of 3 months. This is not the Gabon that was fighting to qualify for the World Cup. They had a really great run in the World Cup qualifiers. They were playing amazing, you know, almost qualified, almost. Yeah, I think they didn't qualify by like a point or something like that. It took the last game for them to not qualify, and they come to this AFCON. It's like a totally different team. First game, you're playing against I believe it was Cote d'Ivoire, and which are the reigning defending champions. And you have Aubameyang on your team, you have Mario Lemina on your team, and you bench them, like, and then you concede a goal, and you realize it's not working, and in the 30th minute, before even halftime, you bring them in, which
Yes.
means you didn't even plan for this. Like that's crazy to me.
Yes.
Like
Insane
that's
Yeah,
crazy
behavior.
to me. And
yeah,
now that game is gone. You lose that game. Okay, you're playing against Mozambique, which is supposed to be the weakest team on the group because you have Cameroon next, right? So it's like, okay, everybody thinks they're going to beat Mozambique, and like today, man, that was, by the way, that was to me that was the most entertaining game so far in the AFCON. It was the best game that I've watched so far. It was going back and forth, back and forth. But yeah, they it could have gotten ugly. It could have been like 5-1 easily. Mozambique uh missed a lot of chances. But yeah, man, it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for Gabon. They kept trying to come back on and on, but Mozambique just smelled blood and they just went for the kill. And now Gabon has to not only win their third game against Cameroon, which I think won't happen, but they also have to like rely on other game results in order for them to qualify. So they definitely put themselves in a really tough position. And it's sad because I believe this might be Aubameyang's last AFCON. So I really
Yep.
wanted him to go far, but yeah, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, sad for them. I thought that they would have a little bit more in the end, just like you said. But hats off to Mozambique. Just like you said, they could
Yeah.
have scored more. They ended up getting the 3-2 win, and they're keeping themselves alive to hopefully advance to the knockout rounds of this AFCON. Next match I want to touch on is Algeria versus Burkina Faso. Was able to watch a little bit of this match actually. Mahrez with a penalty to give Algeria the 1-0 win. Currently, Algeria is on top of the group with 6 points. Burkina Faso in second place with 3 points. And Sudan, we didn't talk about Sudan, but shout out my Sudanese, man.
yeah.
Got the win today against Equatorial Guinea to, keep them alive in this Group E. Keep them alive in this Group E. But Mahrez doing what he's done, converting penalties. This Algeria team, again, they look very strong. These Maghreb countries, like you said, I guess the refs got some sort of affinity towards them and giving them
Man,
penalties.
I'm
But Algeria was able to do what they
I'm
had to
telling
do.
you.
And the one thing I will say about this Algeria team is it's been cool to see Zinedine Zidane support his son Lucas Zidane, who is the keeper for this Algerian team. It's just been dope to see,
Yeah.
and it was cool to hear in the beginning. Obviously, French national team is very very hard to get into, but it seemed like this guy went up to his dad, way before he was even considering, should I play for France, should I play for Algeria, and tell his dad, yo, I want to play for Algeria. I want to play for the country that we are originally from. And for Zidane to support his son first and foremost, being there at every match, rooting the Algerian squad has just been dope to see. So I want to shout out, Lucas Zidane, who, 2 clean sheets to start this tournament. He's already looking like he might win Golden Glove, one of the players that might win Golden Glove. So big for him just to start off this tournament that way. And Algeria now is clinched their ticket to the knockout rounds. How do you feel about that team?
Another impressive team, and I would have to give all props to Vladimir Petkovic, head coach of Algeria, who completely transformed this team completely because this Algeria went through some crisis, man, over the last few years. Algeria didn't have a single AFCON win since they beat Senegal in the 2019 AFCON final.
Wow.
They didn't win a single AFCON game since 2019. And they've had the same coach since then. And this is the first time that they've changed their coach. And Petkovic just comes in and he wins 2 games in a row. He qualifies for the World Cup, easily. He just changed this team, and it's like it's a new team now, and they're solid, they're confident, you know, they play good football. Obviously, they get the job done, 3 points today. Even though there were another controversy on the penalty, but still, I think it wasn't that flagrant. I think it could be allowed, but yeah, they play really well, and Mahrez is playing a really good AFCON. He also might be playing his last AFCON. He's currently leading the tournament with 3 goals, I believe. Yeah, Algeria are currently, also qualified to the next round. They've been they've been very surprising, even though the Burkina Faso team have complained a lot after the game on the refereeing, for not getting certain calls. But it is what it is. I think Algeria deserved this win. They played really good. First game they played well. Today also against Burkina they played really well. And I think they might be the only team, or I have to double check, but I think they're the only ones that haven't conceded yet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but
Hmm.
I think first game they won 3-0, right, in their first
Yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah. Both
Yeah,
games
and
clean
then
sheets.
yeah. I think yeah. So very very good team, man. They could also be a surprise because, like I said, this is not the Algeria that we've been seeing in the last couple of years. This is a new team with a head coach that brought in a new system, and it looks like it's one of those rare teams where it looks like every player knows their role, and they're doing it correctly. Everyone knows their place, and like there's no egos or whatever. Even certain vets on like Buneja is getting benched, and he accepts that role. And when he comes in, he does his part, and Mahrez gets subbed out very early, and you don't see him angry, you don't see him mad or whatever. This is like he's not only a great coach, but he's also a good manager. So they're
Yeah.
really well coached right now. I think they could make some noise. Gotta watch out on Nigeria.
It's a great shot, and thanks for all the analysis on their manager. I didn't realize they hadn't, won since 2019 until this tournament. So
Yeah,
that's massive for them to,
yeah,
get a manager that sees the vision, gets that through to the team, and then the team actually listening to the manager and believing in him enough to see these changes through. So it's good for them. And like I said, they're on to the knockout rounds with 6 points in their group. But last match I want to talk about, Ivory Coast versus Cameroon. Before we get out of here, man, got to talk about Amad Diallo. 2 matches, 2 goals, 2 man of the match awards. This guy, this guy. We've been talking about
I
him as, last year, probably Man U's best player, most consistent player, even through the injuries. This guy is emerging as one of the bigger talents coming out of Africa. Very young still, just class, man. Amad Diallo is just class. They did draw against Cameroon 1-1 today, but they do sit on top of the group with 4 points, as well as Cameroon also with 4 points, and then Mozambique, like I said, with 3 points in this group F. But Ivory Coast, they looking to run it back, man. Cote d'Ivoire.
I, I thought about Salam today when Amad Diallo scored. I thought about him because this is here you have a player that plays so well. You know, he's played beautifully today. In the first game against Gabon, like even though he scored, I feel like he didn't have a great game. Like at first, like in the first half, he wasn't really looking well. But then, second half he played nice, and today he had a really really good game. Um, but yeah, obviously, this is a team. I don't know which one of you guys had them as their dark horse.
It was
Uh,
me.
yeah, I think it was. Yeah, yeah. Hey man, they're not they're not planning to let that trophy go like that. I a lot of players are missing on their squad. A lot of players that I thought would make the squad didn't make it, and I thought that they wouldn't um look as good as they could have, but so far they're looking good. Today they drew Cameroon, but you can tell they should have and could have won that game. They were the most dominant team. You know, uh they were the most engaging team. They also missed a lot of chances, but that happens. But yeah, um, beating Gabon, tying Cameroon, and now next game is probably going to be easy for them. And yeah, you know, I think they're also another team to watch out for. They're also another team to watch out for. Cameroon as well, another team that is surprising. You guys remember I told y'all with all the issues that they have with the federation and the head coaching or whatever, I
Eto.
thought that I thought they would come to this AFCON and they would be totally, outclassed. But it looks like they're handling it pretty well.
Taking
That's
care
one
of
surprise for
business.
me. Yeah,
Taking care of business.
that's a surprise for me. That's it's a good surprise because I don't wish them to. Cameroon is a good team. Nobody wishes them to not perform well. But yeah, they have played really well in their first two games. They've looked solid. They won the first game as well. Today they also fought really hard. This game, I predicted it would be a draw, and it ended up as such. Only because to me, these two teams are literally equal. To me, to me, they're like on the same level. So I felt like it would have been a draw unless one team got lucky. But yeah, it ended up being a draw because they're equal teams right now, currently at this stage, and Cameroon is looking very well. They already have 4 points. They're playing against the Gabon next game
Mhm.
against the Gabon that is in the brink of elimination. I think they will come strong. I think they will not play around, and I think they will handle business. Uh, Even a draw against Gabon will get them qualified. So yeah, very, very surprised by Cameroon, but also Ivory Coast is looking like they're ready to defend their title and they're not letting it go easily.
That's a great analysis, bro. That's what we have for AFCON round two. Round three will continue again tomorrow, December 29th, and then we have games through New Year's Eve. So tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday will end round three, and then into the new year we will have our knockout stages. So it's been a fun
Yeah.
AFCON so far. We still have yet to see our 35-yard screamer. It's gonna happen though. It's not an AFCON if we don't get a if we don't get a 35-yard worldy at some point. But
Yeah, it
yeah,
has to
man.
happen.
Yeah. So that
Shout
was
out, shout out Sudan, by the way. Sudan won today against Equatorial Guinea, which
yeah,
were
yep.
eliminated, and that was a shocker for me too because Equatorial Guinea usually plays really well in the AFCON. Last AFCON, they were tremendous, and every year they actually are solid. But it was very surprising that they lost to Sudan today. Um, but yeah, that's also another shocker for me. But yeah, the tournament is going really really nicely so far. We've only had one game that ended up without a goal so far. Other than that,
Mm.
all the games were really really entertaining. So yeah.
Yeah, that was actually Sudan was actually going to be one of my shout outs. We can get straight into shout outs here before we do predictions. Um,
Okay.
yeah, Sudan was my shout out. Just, again, everything they had to go to just to qualify for this AFCON, not playing a game at home due to what's going on in the country there. And then, being able to get this win has just been huge for them. Even on their World Cup run, we know they didn't make it to the World Cup, but just the run that they've been on in this last 6 months has just been huge. So shout out to that Sudanese team. I'm rooting for them to make it through into the knockout stages because once you get to the knockout rounds, anything can happen. Um, and then
Senegal and Congo struggled against Sudan on both World Cup qualifying games. They, they struggled in both games. Sudan, they're really solid. They can be very promising in the future.
yeah, this is a team that's definitely playing for something bigger than themselves for sure right now. So, with a
Yeah.
team like that, they have the wind at their backs. They're gonna play all full 90 minutes. And then my second shout out was Kevin Schade,
Yeah.
player from Brentford, man. Perfect hat trick, right foot, left foot header, scores his third goal in the 96th minute to make sure he secures it. It's honestly just a masterclass today of striker play, attacking play. If you look at all three of the goals were taking extremely well. Like I said, he scored with both right foot, left foot, and gets that header in the 96th minute. It was honestly crazy to watch. I didn't see the full match, but was kind of just keeping tabs. Once I saw that he got that second goal, I was like, is he gonna get the third? And that he did. So shout out to you, my boy.
Yeah, I'll go next. My shout outs is gonna go to three people actually: Aiden Heaven, Lissandro Martinez, and Lamens, the goalkeeper. I thought that those three had a great game, especially Heaven. Man, that's a young guy coming into an unstable situation, and for the most part, when you look at his performances this season, he's been pretty good. So, happy to see him in a good run of form. We have a good run of games here coming up. So defensively, I'm looking for a little bit more stability. I mean, like, we look better in the back four. He looks good. He looks comfortable. So does Lissandro. Came back from a long-term injury. So for him to come back and, play at a high level is huge for us. So while Delit's out, these guys have to step up. And, yeah, man, we just got to stick with the back four.
Poppy, any shout outs?
Yeah, I have about 2 or 3 shout outs. My first shout out is to Hernan Suluwane, the goalkeeper for Mozambique. This guy is great. I've rarely seen a goalkeeper with such reflexes. And there's a lot of games like this that a lot of people don't know, and you only discover them in the AFCON. But today he made some incredible saves against Gabon, and he did the same thing in the last game. Obviously, people will not talk about it because he plays for Mozambique, but I feel like he's currently one of the best goalkeepers in this AFCON in terms of like the saves that he makes, considering the team he plays for and the lack of talent that they have, and the fact that he's still able to make these saves, that's great. And my second shout out will go to Ibrahim Bey. I talked about it earlier, and this is something that it's pretty nice because he had the opportunity to play for France. He had the opportunity to play for France, and Senegal has done a good job in these situations. There's Assane Diao, who was going to play for Spain, but we got him. He's 19 years old. Ibrahim Bey, 17 years old, was going to play for France. We got him. Mamadou Sarr, also 20 years old. He was going to play for France as well. We got him. But Ibrahim Bey, 17 years old. We all know how difficult it is to play an AFCON. And at 17 to come in and be subbed in against a team like Congo and put on a performance the way he did at his age, no pressure at all. For his age, that was really great. That was really great. And he's also very down to earth. There's a footage there's a training footage that I saw yesterday. You had Elhadji Diouf, former Senegal player, 2-time African Ballon d'Or winner, Sadio Mane and Iliman Ndiaye, who were like, training together, them three, and they called him, they called Ibrahim Bey. They were like, come join us. And he was like, no, like, I'm not on that level yet. I can't join y'all yet, So that lets you know, as a kid, he still has that, he's down to earth. Like, he's a really humble kid. And I think he's one of the guys that you can tell are, among the guys that you can tell could be like the future of Senegalese football. There's like easily 15 years ahead of him, and there are other kids as well, but
he's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah, he's definitely, if Luis Enrique trusts you at 17, you're good. So, shout out to him, man. Shout out to him.
Good shout outs.
Who was your lock this week, Cornelius?
I had City money line.
Okay.
Shout out Sharky. Shout out, my boy.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I thought we were doing well. I know mine hit. Let me just double check real quick.
Yeah,
I
Gabriel
wanted
and
to
my
shout out
girl.
Reese for scoring his first goal for Liverpool, but nah,
Okay.
way too late,
He's-
man. Way too
He
late.
said he ain't do all that.
Yeah, let me
Yeah.
see. The Crystal Palace and let me see the Spurs. Damn. So I
No,
think we went through.
Tottenham won 2-0.
Okay. Tottenham won?
2-0.
No, it was 1-0.
Oh, did they call one back? I thought it was 2.
No, bro. It's 1-0. Tottenham
Oh,
beat
okay. Oh, you know what? They did call one back. They called the Richarlison goal back because I was watching that match. Yeah, it was offsides by a hair. You're right.
Yeah,
It
so
was 1-0.
we went 3-1 in locks, which isn't bad. Which is actually really
Not
good.
bad. It's a good week. Good week. Before we get out of here, predictions. I'll start off. I got Gabriel's. He says, GRG, please let him know. Arsenal money line. 3-1 against Villa is Gabriel's prediction.
Okay.
For me, Chelsea, we see Bournemouth. This is a Bournemouth that's been up and down. Again, we have another home match. Let's get it back in blood. GRG for me as well. We win this match. I think it'll be 2-1. We've been susceptible in the back. If we see Fofana, I might even go clean sheet. But Chelsea money line, you got it there as well. Poppy, I want to.
It's funny.
Go ahead.
Chelsea quite often struggles against Bournemouth, but I'm just saying.
We do. I'm not worried. We at home. Let's get it back to where we're supposed to be. It ain't sweet when you come to the bridge. Poppy, I want you to do 2 because Liverpool sees Leeds. Last time you guys played, it was 3-3 banger. Leeds literally had to see you guys in one of their best runs of form, and now they see you again. And then I also want to hear about Senegal versus Benin. So your home country and your club country, what you
got? Liverpool easy against Leeds. I think we handle business against Leeds at home. It's a home game. I don't think it's going to be that tough for us. So yeah, I got Liverpool 2-0 against Leeds, and Senegal also handles business against Benin. I would say 3-0. I believe when Senegal gets like a small wake up call or a little slap in the face and they have to come back next game, we usually play really well. We used to playing Benin. We've played them a couple of times over the last years. They've never beaten us. I don't think it's gonna happen this time. So yeah, 3-0 for Senegal against Benin and 2-0 for Liverpool against Leeds.
Very good.
Salam. Y'all see
Wolves.
y'all see Wolverhampton Wanderers.
There we go.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Nah, I honestly, we have a few favorable games coming up. We play Leeds we play Wolves on Tuesday, Leeds over the weekend, and then Burnley midweek next week. So, yeah, against Wolves at home, I expect nothing less than 3 points, especially if he's going to stick with the back four. We clearly look better with that formation. The players look more comfortable. So stick with that, and let's beat the worst team in the league. I think that's pretty straightforward. The game against Leeds away, I definitely think that's going to be tough. But again, man, we beat Newcastle this past week. We looked really good. There was a lot of bright spots of that game that I liked. Again, emphasizing the back four. So if we can stick with that, we give ourselves a chance at this wide open, top 5-6 race, whatever it is. But yeah,
respect.
All right.
Before we get out of here, just telling everyone, for the next week or so, we got matches every 2-3 days. Just about, Tuesday, December 30th, January 1st, January 3rd, January 4th, January 6th, January 7th, January 8th will be the last match of a while of this run. That January 8th match is Arsenal versus Liverpool. So
Yeah.
A lot of matches, a lot of matches to keep us warm through these through this new year. So for all my football fans, there's AFCON as well. Like I said, they'll be coming up the next 3 days, and then knockout stages start in 2026, and Prem every other day. It's like we got some marquee matches. So football gods have not let us down yet, man. It's been a great 2025. Just want to say Happy New Year's and have a safe new year to everybody out there. The next time we'll see y'all will be 2026. Don't worry, we'll be back with snippets. We'll be back with recaps. We'll be back with some interviews down the line as well. We got some stuff in store for y'all and bigger and better in 2026. Poppy, thanks again for hopping on as our African correspondent through this AFCON.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah, hopefully you
having
got a
me.
safe. Hey, what do y'all do in Dakar? What do y'all do in Senegal for New Year's? You got any celebrations that you do, or is it you gonna just be with friends, family?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of events going on in the city. Around late December. This is usually the time when a lot of people who live overseas come back, to celebrate and
Yeah,
to go to these events and whatever. So yeah, it's a lot of things to be done. A lot of
you
events, a
gonna be
lot of
stepping
parties,
out?
a lot of concerts. I don't know yet. I actually don't have any plans so far. It will depend. Like sometimes I plan things out, and sometimes I just go with the group, man. But yeah, definitely, gonna see what the home is, what we're gonna do. But yeah, it's definitely a good vibe right now in Dakar, man.
I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah, with Senegal, you guys got something to root forward to, and I know the vibes are good. The weather's probably nice over there too right now.
Weather is really nice right now. Weather is really nice right now, and all the restaurants they do these things that we call the fan zones, where you can come to the restaurant, watch these AFCON games, get a special menu for the AFCON, with friends and stuff,
That's
and
what's up.
Nice,
yeah, a lot of big screens in a lot of venues where you can just go and watch the games. So yeah, it's
nice.
really beautiful.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro. Definitely sounds like a vibe. We need to. Oh damn, he's about to go indulge. All right. Well, yeah, no, good episode. Appreciate you again, Poppy. Yeah, happy New Year, Cornelius. I'll see you in 2026. And yeah, thank you for kicking with us on the kickback.